Welcome to this episode where we address one of the most baffling and disruptive roadblocks that corporate HR teams encounter when onboarding international talent, which is the surprisingly agonizing process of opening a local bank account. You have successfully recruited a phenomenal foreign specialist, their work permit is approved, they have landed in Norway, and you logically assume that paying their first month's salary will be as simple as having them walk into a local bank branch to open a standard checking account. I am Erik Christensen from the NLS Norway Relocation Group, and I need to prepare you for the reality that the Norwegian banking system is arguably one of the most strictly regulated and difficult financial ecosystems for a newly arrived foreigner to penetrate. In many countries, opening a bank account requires little more than a passport and a signed employment contract. But in Norway, the process is governed by incredibly strict anti-money laundering laws and rigid know your customer regulations that leave absolutely no room for administrative flexibility. The very first wall your new employee will hit is the absolute requirement of having a Norwegian identification number, either a temporary D number or a permanent personnummer or personal identity number, before a bank will even consider speaking with them. However, as we have seen time and time again, even if your employee manages to secure their ID number from the national registry, their banking nightmare is often just beginning. The Norwegian financial system operates on a terrifying catch-22 that catches almost every expat off guard. To rent a permanent apartment, you must open a locked depositumskonto to hold the security deposit. But you cannot open any Norwegian bank account, including the deposit account, without having a registered permanent address. This means your star hire is suddenly trapped in a logistical loop, unable to secure housing because they do not have a bank account, and unable to get a bank account because they do not have permanent housing. Even if your employee manages to navigate this housing loop through expensive corporate temporary housing, they will immediately run into the physical realities of modern Nordic banking. Norway is highly digitized, cashless society, which means that the vast majority of major banks have completely closed their physical customer service branches, transitioning entirely to online services. However, by law, a newly arrived foreign citizen cannot open an account online. They are legally mandated to present their physical original passport in person for a biometric scan and identity verification at an approved branch. Because there are so few physical branches left that actually handle passport scanning, the waiting lists for these specific appointments can stretch for 4 to 8 weeks. During this agonizing waiting period, your employee cannot be integrated into your standard payroll system, forcing your accounting department to execute expensive, heavily scrutinized international wire transfers to their foreign accounts, which often results in the employee losing a significant percentage of their salary to international exchange fees. This period of financial limbo forces expats to rely heavily on their foreign credit cards to survive, racking up massive foreign transaction fees just to buy groceries or pay for public transit. The inability to open a bank account does not just affect their immediate cash flow. It completely exiles them from the Norwegian digital society. Opening a bank account is the mandatory prerequisite for obtaining BankID, the universal digital signature used for absolutely everything in Norway. Without BankID, your new hire cannot log into the tax authority portal to fix their tax card, meaning they might be subjected to a staggering 50% emergency tax rate on their first paycheck. They cannot access their public healthcare records. They cannot sign digital contracts, and they cannot use the mobile payment app Vipps, which makes splitting a lunch bill with their new colleagues impossible and leaves them feeling deeply alienated from the local office culture in Norway. Expecting your new employee to navigate this hostile financial bureaucracy alone, while simultaneously trying to perform at their high-pressure new job, is a recipe for immense frustration, plunging morale, and decreased productivity. Your HR team will inevitably be dragged into the mess, spending countless hours on the phone, acting as a liaison between confused employees and rigid banking compliance officers. This is precisely why engaging professional settling in services is a critical corporate investment rather than an optional luxury. With deep local expertise, a relocation partner can proactively schedule these rare banking appointments months in advance of the employee's arrival. Guide them through the complex documentation requirements to satisfy strict compliance officers and leverage established relationships with expat-friendly bank branches to bypass the standard waiting queues. By managing this intensely stressful administrative burden on their behalf, you ensure that your new talent feels supported, financially secure, and completely focused on bringing value to your company from the first day. For those who needs help relocating with relocation to Norway, you can go to our website NLS Norway Relocation.no, NLS Norway Relocation.no.